business owners in the Somali capital Mogadishu cite threats by Chinese imports which affect employment of skilled young people.
The healthcare delivery system in Cross River State receives an upgrade in effective data collection.
Weaving a traditional cloth with a new machine made from old parts, a time-saving invention makes the cloth known in Burkina Faso as Faso Danfani.
Hello, and thanks for tuning into the show that goes around the continent to bring you stories near and far. I'm Joke Rogers at Channels Television here in Lagos, and I'm joined by my colleague at the Voice of America in Washington, D.C.
Well, thanks. I'm Vincent McCory at the Voice of America. Happy to be with you again for another edition of Africa 54. Let's start off with the latest from Nigeria. Joke Rogers in Lagos brings you that story.
The Cross River State government is giving guarantees for improved healthcare delivery system in reproductive, maternal and newborn care, adolescent health and elderly care through effective data collection. Researchers from the University of Calabar, the state capital, believe quality data collection will help digitalize patient information and improve outcomes.
This workshop, organized by researchers from the University of Calabar and other healthcare professionals, aims to improve healthcare delivery, especially in rural areas in Cross River State. The participants, who are healthcare practitioners drawn from various backgrounds, unite for a common goal, which is to identify and address factors hindering quality healthcare services through data collection and research.
We use a lot of quality control systems to make sure that the data we collect are accurate, which involves choosing the right personnel, using the right tools, training them and retraining, and putting in place different levels of quality assurance and measures. So that is it. So moving forward, we've just been discussing in a policy dialogue, which is ongoing, just finishing, how this data says, what are the implications for practice, what are the implications for policy, and what are the key actionable decisions that can come out of this meeting, which could be applied at both state, LGA, and facility level.
If we keep on practicing without having the evidence for the practice, then a lot will go wrong in the system. So what this project has done is to look at the quality of care that is given on reproductive, maternal, newborn, and child health in the state.
The state government promises to utilize the data collected to develop policies that will enhance healthcare services for its citizens.
We found a lot of discovery, having listened to the findings from this data, and I can assure you that at the state primary health care level, we are going to pick up this data, take it to the necessary quarters, the government, so that we can use it to formulate policies that will help us to deliver quality health care to the people of Cross River State.
The Cross River State government says it's committed to improve the well-being of the people through strategic intervention and will do all it can to make lives better.
Joining us to discuss the healthcare delivery system in Cross River State is a professor of pediatrics at the College of Medical Sciences, UNICAL, Professor Martin Mireneku. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
So being a part of the healthcare system in Cross River State, you have an insight into the state government's plans, the latest being data collection. What are the expected outcomes?
The ultimate outcome, thank you very much, the ultimate outcome of good data collection is to, efficiently apply resources, to deliver objectives. And for healthcare, the objective is good health. So in the system that you refer to, and maybe the study for which we have been invited to share experiences, is around newborn and maternal, newborn child, adolescent, elderly, health. We know that these are very, vulnerable age groups. That definitely healthcare is provided with some special care, and then. In Nigeria, apart from the fact that coverage is not optimal at the moment, but a lot of progress has been made in ensuring that healthcare is reaching many more people through the primary healthcare system. So, and you cannot really say this unless you have data to authenticate that how much coverage you have. In addition to coverage, the quality of care is also crucial because unless service is of optimal quality, then it will not deliver on the outcome of reducing ill health and also preventing death.
Right. And what tools or technologies will be employed to collect the data?
You know, in Nigeria, we've really gone through a long process of transiting from all paper-based data collection, routine data collection in our health facilities. We still have paper, we have registers in the outpatient, in the inpatient ward. In the laboratories, we have registers. And gradually, government is moving towards electronic-based data. And in Nigeria, for instance, we have an established data collection system, which is called the DHIS2, which is District Health Information System, which essentially ensures that all the data that are generated at health facilities across the country are, reported through the local government system to the state and up to the federal on a monthly basis. And in so doing, at any point in time, you can actually access those data sets and make, inferences about how well we're doing, also help to inform either resource allocation or identify areas of weakness where there will be need to put in more resources in terms of either human resource or the supplies and the equipment. The other point to make about that is that, that internet drives, electronic data nowadays. And Nigeria is gradually also having good penetration of internet, accessibility across the country. We're not there yet. So in essence, in Cross River, that part of the country, we have a hybrid system where data is collected both by paper and electronically. So, but ultimately, the aggregated data is delivered through the DHIS system, which is a web-based platform from local government through to the state. And at any point in time, stakeholders who are responsible for policy making can access those data and either through some dashboard or actually read data, they can reanalyze and make decisions that will inform policy and improve practice.
Right. And how will patient confidentiality and privacy, how will it be ensured in this process?
Well, the policy about patient confidentiality, informed consent are all very clear. And the health workers, when they get their training, have that embedded in their training routines. So the electronic system essentially provides another outlet for documenting, for reporting, and for archiving data. But even in that system, every effort is made to ensure confidentiality. So in every hospital in our country, everywhere where patients' private records are kept, there is a rule that confidentiality is absolutely maintained. If you have to use data that is de-identified, as it were, for research, even that you have to have approval from well-established ethics committees who ensure that everything about patients' confidential information has been deducted from such data set. So yes, of course, it's a very primary goal, all the processes of ensuring that data is collected. Patients' confidentiality is primary.
Right. Thank you for your time today. It's been excellent speaking with you, Professor Martin Merimiku, Professor of Pediatrics, College of Medical Sciences, UNICAL.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Africa 54. I'm Vincent Makori in Washington. Zimbabwe has natural resources that include nearly 40 different minerals and one of the world's largest deposits of diamonds. Yet the vast majority of Zimbabweans continue to live in poverty. Columbus Mavunga visits the country's famous Maranga diamond fields and talks with residents want average people to benefit more from the country's mineral wealth.
The Marange Fields of Zimbabwe is home to one of the world's largest diamond deposits. The precious gems were first mined here in 2006. The government-owned Zimbabwe Consolidated Diamond Company says it is working to increase production so that all citizens can reap the benefits of mining the gems, according to spokesman Shubha Chagonda.
And I'm sure we are doing this by way of making sure that we contribute to community development, be it in terms of employing locals, also infrastructure development, sport and recreation, as well as general amenities, which is quite good. And we are also extending to the province.
But the benefits have yet to reach people living nearby, says resident Atro Mshangwizam, who has lived near the Marange Fields his whole life.
In this diamond mining area, there is a problem. Children are missing school because their parents are failing to pay fees. We hope that the diamonds can benefit the local children more through schools in the diamond mining area by reducing fees or paying their fees. That's our major concern, so that children have a great future.
Zimbabwe Consolidated Diamond Company says it has started building schools with science labs to improve local children's education. But schooling isn't the only problem that Zimbabweans want diamonds to solve. They say the industry should help the economy more. The problem is that the sector lacks transparency, says Center for Natural Resource Governance Director Farai Magu.
The diamond sector is now subject to extreme organized crime, and the leaders are the only ones who know where the diamonds are going, how the diamonds are leaving the country, where the revenues are going. But as a citizenry, we have been completely disconnected and cut out from any information regarding the diamond industry.
Getting that information would be one way to help Zimbabwe follow the example of Botswana, whose booming economy is largely built on diamonds, according to economist Prosper Chitambara with the Labour and Economic Development Research Institute of Zimbabwe.
And the second one being beneficiation of those minerals, in other words, moving up the value chain through an industrialization-based process. So I think those two factors are important in terms of ensuring that the ordinary citizen actually gets to benefit from those resources.
Currently, Zimbabwe ranks a distant 7th in worldwide diamond production, despite having diamond fields roughly the size of Luxembourg. Columbus Mavunga, Viewing News, Marange, Zimbabwe.
Governor Hyacinth Alia of Benue State in north-central Nigeria has rewarded 4 students who won the 2024 Nigeria-Indonesia bilateral debate on the ongoing Russian-Ukraine war. A grand reception was held to honor the young Nigerians who beat the host nation in Jakarta, Indonesia, after emerging champions from the presidential school debate in Nigeria.
Students from the Arabic Universal Basic Education, Owner LGE Occupier School and Smart School in Makurdi, the Benue State capital, gather at the Agan toll gate to receive the victorious Nigerian representatives at the just concluded Nigeria-Indonesia bilateral debate for 2024. Amidst fanfare, the Nigerian delegation arrived to a warm reception before moving to the government house. One after the other, the students, their teachers, parents and education administrators, led by the executive chairman, Benue State Universal Basic Education Board, settled into the old banquet hall as Governor Hyacinth Alia arrives. The executive chairman of SUBEB sets the ball rolling as he briefs on the journey thus far, which has resulted in the grand success.
It is very impressive to know that these students are from our public schools. One of them is from the smart school at the Modern Smart School. One of them is from the Arabic school here in Makoni, and LJ
For children this age to speak to the topic only shows that Benue is abreast with world issues, world politics, world events, and all that is happening around the world.
Impressed by the students' deep knowledge of global politics and economics of war, the governor announced a scholarship award to university level for the 4 students who represented Nigeria and won the competition in Indonesia.
To our brightest 4 students, each of them would have 4 million naira. And the state government is giving you 4 of you the scholarship to study up to your first degree at the university.
Students from the state had won the Nigerian presidential school debate 4 times in the past, but were unable to represent the country on the international scene due to funding challenges, a situation that Governor Hyacinth Eleya vows to address going forward.
to go out there.
It's time now for a short break. As we do, we remind you to visit our website, channelstv.com, for news and programming around the clock. You can also find us at youtube.com/channelsweb. And still to come, South Africa sees growing international demand for beef and other meat products.
Welcome back to Africa 54. I'm Vincent Makori in Washington. In the bustling local markets of Mogadishu, Somalia, local business owners say imported Chinese products are rapidly displacing their own manufactured goods. Abdulkadir Zubair spoke to several business owners in Mogadishu and has this report narrated by Caro Van Dam.
4 years ago, Abukar Sheikh Abu's shop used to be full, producing at least 20 pairs of shoes daily. But nowadays, he says, the market has changed, with Chinese-made products challenging local businessmen like him.
These shoes had a market before Chinese-made products flooded the country, costing $2 to $3. We make high-quality shoes. They are soft and comfortable, especially for people suffering from burning feet, sign of nerve damage. Our market used to thrive, and we used to ship our products to Hargeisa, Djibouti, and South Africa. However, nowadays, Chinese-made products pose a challenge.
While Abu now produces only a few pairs daily, his main distribution is from customer orders of clients who appreciate his products, like Sufi Mohammed Amin.
I prefer these pairs of shoes because they are made of leather and provide comfort, unlike Chinese-made shoes.
China does not only import shoes into Somalia, it also offers other products, from clothing to utensils. Some customers like Ahmed Mohammed Hassan say they prefer products from countries other than China.
These clothes are not made in China. They are of high quality, and I frequently purchase clothes from this store during every festival. They import the clothes from the US, and they cost around $30 in contrast to Chinese-made products, which cost $4 to $5.
Fartun Qasim Ali purchases utensils from a local market in Mogadishu.
We come here to buy utensils for gatherings. Locally made utensils have limited variety, but those from abroad offer a wide selection, from jugs to plates.
Buying imported goods poses a challenge to locally made products, business owners say. Saeed Ali Maulid, a shopkeeper in the city, says it's disheartening to see people choose imported goods over local products.
Many people prefer imported goods over locally made products, and that is discouraging if you ask the person why they prefer imported goods. They might respond in a demeaning manner, saying this is a Somali-made thing.
Meanwhile, in the capital, small business owners like Abu say Chinese imports also affect the employment of skilled young people who used to craft local shoes.
We used to create employment opportunities by making these shoes. For instance, sewing cost $1 and the craftsmanship and other labor for a pair of 2 shoes cost $10. We used to sell each pair for $25 to $30.
Somali business owners say they find themselves in a precarious situation due to Chinese imports pushing them or their products out of markets. For Abdul Qadir Subair in Mogadishu, Somalia, I'm Carol Van Dam.
Farmers in South Africa are enjoying a boost in foreign demand for their red meat. Industry experts share their views on the growing international demand for South African beef and other meat products, particularly in the Middle East.
This is the NAMPO 2024 Agricultural Exhibition at NAMPO Park in Bothaville of the Free State Province, South Africa. Handlers feed and examine the cows. South African animal farmers are seeing increased demand for red meat and live animals outside the country.
If you look at the first 3 months of this year, we exported, well, more than what we did last year. So year on year, I think within the first 3 months, we did considerably better. Now, obviously, Saudi Arabia opened up for us. Iran opened up. Oman opened up. We're currently working in Singapore and Malaysia, specifically to open up these markets again. And some of these markets obviously look at live animal export as well. So we need to look at the entire spectrum of what we can do with red meat within South Africa and also live animals.
Specialists welcome the government's push to encourage emerging farmers to maximize production.
For example, when we've come onto a farm and we see a client and we see where he's short and the gaps, and if we need to improve production on that head using better genetics, we source those genetics in the form of a bull or either AI or in the form of females, and we bring them onto that farm to increase production.
Experts believe the sector will grow as farmers work hard to increase the output volume.
I think the export story is very important because South Africa exports now more than half of what it produces. It matters less on whose product goes to the export markets. One would like to see more black farmers also participating in those export markets. And I think as the sector grows and we bring into place the 2.5 million hectares of land that is sitting in government hands, if it comes into production, farmed productively, title deeds overlaid, blended finance accompanying that, then we will begin to see black farmers participating at a much more robust level in the export markets in years to come.
Exports of red meat by cattle farmers and meat producers in South Africa increased in the first quarter of 2024, when markets of other regions opened up to South African meat and fresh produce, including Saudi Arabia. The Kingdom's Food and Drug Administration lifted a 20-year prohibition on South African meat imports in August 2023.
In Ouagadougou, Burkina Faso, inventor Nulove Kushiatar is trying to make life easier for his fellow citizens by creating all kinds of machines from cast-off parts. Viewers Gildada has the story from Ouagadougou, narrated by Jackson Mufunganya.
In the Tanguy neighborhood of Ouagadougou, Burkina Faso, Nulove Kushiatar is working on a machine that weaves the traditional cloth known in the country as Faso Damfani.
The operating system is powered by a motor that rotates the entire machine. Everything is mechanized. I'm currently at about 80%, and I just need to install the main motor.
8 days later, the machine is ready for delivery to a local weaver named Awa Yaogo.
You can start the machine, do your household chores, sometimes stop it or leave it running while picking up your children from school. It's a good idea to help us, the weavers.
Since 2008, Kushiatar has been making things like traffic lights and ice-making freezers. He uses his mechanical skills to turn found materials into useful items. He has created over 15 different types of devices.
I really like what he does in his business. He creates many inventions. He also trains young people, makes machines for irrigating vegetable gardens, and does some welding too. He does almost everything. I'm proud of him.
Kushiatar says he wants to expand even further and can do more.
We work in a workshop, but we should be working in a production unit to set up units for rapid production. That's our current challenge.
It's also a family business. His son, Feiko Kushieta, also dreams big, like his father.
I would like us to have a production unit to create our machines in large quantities, to make at least 100 machines in a month, so that we can fulfill our orders.
Kushieta says he's making a good living and there's plenty of work to do. He even admits he sometimes has trouble delivering his inventions on time. To solve that problem, he wants to start sharing his engineering skills with young people so they can help him with the backlog of orders. For Gildas Da in Ouagadougou, Burkina Faso, this is Jackson Vunganyi, VOA News.
Well, that's our show for today. You can find all the continent's top news and world news online at voaafrica.com. Check it out. I'm Vincent McCory in Washington. Channels Television has our last word.
We look forward to bringing you another show next week. Do remember that channelstv.com is your source for news and other programming. I'm Joke Rogers. Thanks for watching and goodbye.